Let's make sure we start that, because that's how we end up getting in even more troubles, not by not recording. Welcome to the growth call. Today is Monday, October 23rd. I cannot believe that the month of October is almost done.
Yeah. I feel like, we celebrate summer for all of 5 minutes. And then it's 5 minutes of fall and then 10 months of winter.
Well, also, New England thought it was Seattle this year for a long time. It thought it was the Pacific Northwest for a good chunk of the summer. And even now, if I have to look at that wet pile of leaves out front anymore, I'm just going to cry.
I'm about to go blow some wet leaves this afternoon after my work day. It's going to be so much fun.
Look at this. We're just adding people. All right. So one of the things Tiffany and I wanted to talk about today was, who's ever read or have heard of the book 10X is Better Than 2X? Has anybody heard about this book?
Joseph.
Chat it up for a second. I'm going to grab the link for everyone.
All right. So I'd love to hear, what did you hear in that book if you've read it?
Come off of mute.
2 of you said yes.
I have it on my reading table. I haven't picked it up yet. I'm still finishing something else.
There you go. Link is in the chat.
So the story is that it's easier to do 10x the work than it is to do 2x of the work. Who would agree with that?
See, and I fought as soon as Tiffany was like, you need to, first of all, Tiffany was like, I have another book for you, which always is me going, oh, another book right now. And she's like, you have to read this. You have to. And I was like, 10 times more is hard. Like, that sounds like, I got into this book and I was like, well, this makes perfect sense.
Because what happens when you're thinking 10x, you have to change your mindset of, who do you have to become? What do you have to have? Who are the people in your world? It's just a totally different conversation. So yes, you can go out and you can lead generate and talk to 50 people this week and get the result of talking to 50 people. Or you could say, if I were to talk to 500 people, what systems, processes, and opportunities would I need to put into place? And I know it sounds big, and yet it's not.
Well, you might recognize the author as Who Not How. Is that what that one is? Who Not How? And one of the things they talk about is it's not a thing you need, it's a person. So when it came to our business planning, has everybody done business planning clinic, or do you have yours coming up? I know Shalmai was at yours. Right, so some of the things to think about, and this book goes over, is it's the who, right? You may be on that precipice of hitting a ceiling. So your next hire may be the reason you hit your goals next year. And that first hire is sometimes the scariest thing you can do. But it's the who that gets you what you need so that you can focus on your top 20% items and hand off the things you dislike doing.
And let's keep in mind, the who potentially doesn't have to cost you money if you do it the right way. Like, a who could be a staff member or leadership that teaches you something. A who may be somebody who you contract to put a system into place that automatically runs by itself.
The who could be a transaction coordinator.
That's a contracted party that you don't pay personally unless the deal closes.
So when you're working towards 2024 goals and you've got the hat on and you're getting into the mindset of 2024, what do I need to do? When you're going through BPC, also think of, what are the classes I need to take to be able to hit those goals next year? A lot of the times we don't add that educational budget or the investment in ourselves that we're going to need in order to hit that 10x or even that next level of productivity or goal we were looking for. So make sure you're adding that. Make sure that you are looking for classes or networking that fit your goals and where you want to be.
I would love to open it up. I want to hear, what were some goals that you desired to accomplish in 2023 and you actually accomplished? And what are some goals that you're either pushing forward from 23 to 24 or brand new to 24? Let's share. Because excitement around your goal is huge. Mark, you came off mute real quick. Talk to me, man.
Yeah, well, actually, me and my buddy Alex are on this call. We're thinking about, creating a team. So we met today, talked about a bunch of different things, try to like build a, our structure and stuff like that. And one of the things we talked about was goal setting. And one thing that kind of came to me is, for me, how I work, I think it'd be more effective to set goals of activities, not goals of results, because we can't control the results, but we can control the activities. So we're trying to get more focused on setting goals for activities.
And I'm going to throw another book out there. It's The Gap in the Gain.
Yeah, definitely hear that one. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, so perfect example. I have a goal of making X amount of dollars. By December 31st, 2024, my bank account will have X and the following will happen, right? Well, I could celebrate that on December 31st, 2024. However, what are all the small little bite-sized pieces that I'm celebrating throughout the whole process, right? Because how many of you are tired? Really? None of you are tired? Okay,
I'm
that's
exhausted.
right?
It takes a lot to keep this body and energy.
Well, and here's the thing. What are you celebrating? So tell me something. Mark shared one of his goals. Either share a goal or share something that's small that you're celebrating.
And here's the other great thing is all the tools that we have back you into those activities, Mark, right? When you do, I know you do have to put that goal out there, but once you know that goal, Business Planning Clinic does that. It stair steps you backwards into knowing exactly how many if you know your conversion, how many calls you have to make, how many appointments you have to go on, exactly, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to hit those goals. Then you focus on the call goals or the networking goals or that way it's not unit based or GCI based.
All right, Muriel, I saw you come off mute. Share away, my friend.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the opportunity. Well, I've been the past year or two, I've been doing everything, like all these shiny objects. And it just hit me, I'm taking Bold, but we started Ignite, and I'm getting more clarity about what's important. So I've reread the one thing, and it means more this time around than when I read it 2 years ago.
Yep.
And I'm eliminating things that are not going to give me the results that I need right now. And I find with that, it's given me clarity, and I'm purposeful every day with what I'm doing. So I feel good. I feel really free.
Yep, 100%.
It's
And you're
exciting.
celebrating the small wins.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. Who else? Let's hear it. We need to have some, because it's exhausting out there. Come on.
We had no wins. Not one person in this room had a single win in 2023. Not one. Oh, Chris, I like what you're doing.
I'll share a win.
Woohoo.
It's one of my agents' wins, not mine. Well, it's both of ours. So one of my new agents, first year in the business, sent out a bunch of golden letters, and today I found out he has 2 listing appointments from them.
Nice.
Do the things, you guys, it will work.
Small activities, big wins.
Did they follow up after the letters?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
that's the
they
golden.
did.
That's the magic of the golden letters, is actually following up.
Yeah, and following up more than once, because golden letters are usually a little bit longer game.
Correct. I love hearing that. And it's one small thing. One small thing that knocked that lead domino down. Boom, boom, boom. And now 2 listing appointments.
So
What would that have been?
Erica asked, how do you follow up? There's programs out there like Mojo Sells that you can pull neighborhood data that scrubs against the do not call list. And then you can also buy data. If you buy, like you could buy data for a specific area. If you do that though, just make sure you scrub it. You can door knock, you can find them on social media. It's the conversation after the letter. Hey, I sent you a letter talking about, is this something that you're looking to accomplish? And if not you, then who? Right? It's
Yeah.
the if not you, then who that a lot of people forget about.
The other thing is, if you're going to have a listing, think about the golden letter and you're going to be door knocking for the open house.
Mhm.
Door knock those areas heavy and have a copy of the letter. Hey, I sent this off a few weeks ago, and do your follow up that way.
Brooke and I are doing a training class that I'm not allowed to share any of the stuff for because we're only doing it in person. She threatened me.
I did. I
so
was
if
the
you-
scary one for once.
If you are at Legacy and you attended that class, you will understand what we're talking about. However, it is the opportunity to take one activity and put it over 4 or 5 different groups of people, right? How do we take one activity and use it 4 or 5 different ways? When we do stuff like that, it changes the game.
And we will be coming to a market center near you. We just got all the calendar stuff for 2024 and where we can now plug ourselves in. So get ready, because Tiff and I are going on a world tour of New England.
And if nothing else, the entertainment's worth it.
It is. It is. I promise you will leave our classes with that. All right, Tiff, anything else you want to go off of before we get into the growth call content? And it's week 2 of the 201 Club. And don't worry if you missed last week, we're going to do a quick refresh on that and get you up and running.
I think we're good. I think we need to have more smiles and more celebration on this call moving forward.
Yeah,
Just saying.
it's really hard to celebrate small wins because there's small
They're
wins.
small.
But when you start to look at all the small steps you're taking that lead to the bigger why you're doing things, you're going to feel so good. You're going to feel great. And you need those wins. Write them down. Just like the reason people keep their thank you cards from people when they need to remember why they're doing things, you need to celebrate all the wins. If I were to go back and look through my text messaging with Tiffany, even the small things, I'll be like, guess what? And then she gets this huge 3-paragraph text from me because I text from my Mac, right? So I'm 1,000 miles an hour.
Yep.
But we celebrate this, even the smallest wins.
Well, there's
That's
2 reasons for that. Number one, you're moving 1% forward every single time you accomplish a small win. So if you accomplish a small win every single day, that's 365% a year. And keep in mind, we coach to the whole person. It's not just the business. So when you're thinking small wins, the seven circles in the one thing on page 114, it's all of those areas. Before you share content, I am putting in the chat. The region is offering 15-minute mini coaching sessions. Grab the flyer. If you have something that you're looking to accomplish, you have questions, grab the file, schedule a time. I am traveling a lot over the next 4 weeks. So if there's not a time in there, just shoot me a message and I do have white space that I could schedule you in. All right, my friend, all you.
All right, let's do this growth call content. Halloween is always my favorite time of year to share anything. All right, hold on. It's saying I'm not allowed to share. Can you make sure I'm co-host, Tiffany?
I'm just going to make you host. Problem
Okay.
solved.
Problem solved? Yeah, because it is saying no. Let's try this. Give me a sec. What are you? Desktop 2? Let's try this. Give me 1 sec. I got a new computer over the weekend. And now it's give up all the rights to all the things. Let me just see. Input. Yeah, Zoom's got it. Let's try this again. So while my computer's having its temper tantrum, talk to me about candy corn last week. I was dying over the responses that your communities were giving you when it came to the responses about whether or not people like candy corn. Like there were some aggressive responses to that. I was in stitches. It was such a great read. All right, so let's hit it. We are finishing up lore. We're almost done. You know what's cool about this? If you don't know what to post, you can go back to A. They're all in there. Every single letter for everything we did for the language of real estate for consumers is still in that drive. So this week we're talking about valuation. Why do you think this is such an important post to put out there? Why is valuation important in our world? What are some of the things we can do? What's another term for valuation in our world? I'm sorry, what? Somebody come off of mute and say that? What?
Equity,
Equity, that's one reason.
Everybody wants a CMA.
Oh, but do they know what a CMA is yet, right? Is that Country Music Awards? I would love to go. I am wearing my cowboy boots today. We can go to the CMAs, but our community doesn't know what a CMA is yet because they're probably not working with a realtor because in their brain, I'm not ready to sell. So what if we talk about home valuation a little different and we take off the word home and we just go to valuation? So whether you're entering the RE game or just want to be more informed about your property's worth, reach out to me. So this is all about helping you get people into your world with what we call CMAs or comps or whatever you call it, or whatever people have heard. Now you have a new way to talk about it, which is not new. It's a valuation. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Hmm.
It's pasta day. Wednesday is pasta day, also known as kick your no carb diet to the curb day. This is one of my favorites, especially if you're around Federal Hill or parts of Boston that are known for their Italian food. We've got a great place in where I live called Tre Mezzo that has homemade pasta on site, so I don't have to go down to the city and fight people. But this one is meant to get people engaged with you, telling you what their favorite pasta is or where to go. So who's a pasta lover? I am a carbaholic, especially if there's like thousands of pounds of garlic. Like I want my gums to offend you and I want my breath to reach you before I even walk through the door. That's how much garlic I want. I just want pounds of garlic. Where was I the other day? In North Conway, of all places. I got incredible pasta. So garlicky that it stunk up my lunchbox, and now my lunchbox permanently smells through the container like garlic. So where do you go? Where does everybody go for their pasta? The best pasta. I don't see it. Put in the chat. Erica, can you explain your question for me real quick before we go back? A KW campaign? You mean a Facebook post, like an ad?
A paid ad.
I would start with social. This is all about engaging growth, right? We are seeing a slowdown in advertising clicks per lead, all those things right now because of the way the market is and the way I would spend money on listings and events. And then this is a social post meant to get out to your community, people who have already seen you. So I would do it as social posts, or even think about how to get it out in an email smart plan to your people.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Eataly. Oh, I forgot about Eataly. I usually go there when I visit the Boston Market Center. So good. I forgot.
Right across the street.
I know. Anywhere in the North End. My husband and I went to the North End for our anniversary this year, and it was delicious. It was so delicious. So again, fun. I can't wait to see what people come up with. Make sure you leave the hashtags because that's how I find you, and that's how I help comment on your posts. And then this or that. I'm going to tell you I'm going to break every rule I have for this or that Thursday. It's a neither from me. I am the biggest scaredy cat chicken on the planet. I would pee my pants at Canopy Lake if somebody jumped out and yelled boo at me. I am not good with horror, chills, or thrills, but there are so many people who are. So this or that Thursday is all about, do people prefer spooky, scary ghost stories? I know I used to go to the sleepovers with my friends and we try to scare each other. Or are you a horror movie person? What I've also found out is that a lot of people listen to horror and murder podcasts in our world, in their cars. It's this, when I asked the question, what are you listening to for a podcast? The amount of KW people who had true crime podcasts and a couple other things was a little bit scary, just a little bit scary. So are you a spooky stories person like Goosebumps? Maybe I can handle Goosebumps, the kids' books, probably not. Or are you horror movies? What are you? Let me know. Let me know. In the chat, do something. Wake up. You're both. Okay, let's put Maureen on our list of people to watch when we visit the market centers. I don't think scary. If I had to pick, I would do spooky stories. That would be me. Tiffany, what are you? Are you a big chicken?
No, I'm not a chicken.
Yeah. She wanted to admit to it anyway on the call.
Honestly, I'm all three. I'll do the murder podcast. I'll do the scary, spooky stories. Like I remember being a teenager and reading it. That probably scared the crap out of me.
See, and when I was a teenager, I loved Stephen King. I loved it. But you know what? I'm with Muriel and Isaiah. I am a Hallmark person through and through. In my midlife, I am not a scary person at all. All right, all that content is out there. If you don't get the email from the region, please check your spam bin or your others folder in your email. It gets sent out every week at about 3:15-ish is when I think I see it hit my inbox. And this is always in our Facebook group, the KW, and I'll grab that while Tiffany pulls our winner, because this week we are giving away, what are we giving away, Tiffany? Because this is my
We're
favorite.
giving away the playbook. Who knows what the playbook is? Who has the playbook? All
Who has
right.
it?
I see him. I see him. I love it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so
Our-
good. Here's the thing. If you have it and you win it, our big ask is that you gift it to someone in your world who needs it. Right then, I want you to open that front cover and I want you to put a little note in there and explain why it's so important for them. All right.
So I saw
Tiffany.
Maureen's question. You don't have to worry about where you get it because you're this week's winner.
Oh!
That was fantastic. That couldn't have been any better. Woohoo! And I
so
will also,
excited. I do not win things like this.
you're gonna love this book. And a lot of so we're coming to each market center a minimum of twice. Your leadership has to schedule us. So if we don't come, talk to your leadership. And yes, I did say that. So feel free to talk to your leadership. And we are taking that playbook and we are doing really fun stuff with it.
Mm-hmm. I might have forced Tiffany into character.
She may have broke me because I don't do any of those things.
If
And
you're
she
on my
had this
TikTok, you'll
sailor
see
hat.
it.
Oh my goodness. I was like, what? No,
Matching
no.
t-shirts. I mean, she hugged me. This
No.
was a revolutionary class if I broke Tiffany that way.
And I
Well,
did
congratulations, Maureen. Please reach out to me at b.silva. I'll put it b.silva@kw.com. And there we go. And I will connect you with Cassie, who will help us get it out to you, whether in mail or if you're coming to Wealth Building, we can bring it to Wealth Building. And then I did put the link for our Facebook group. So what we're going to do, and Tiffany, you staying on for a bit, or are you?
Yeah, because my next call are all at Fall Mastermind, so I can get to hang out with you again.
Well, there you go. So let me do this. I'm going to stop the recording and we're going to restart because we post 201 or any of the after growth call and action separate. So give me 1 sec.